Let's speak to Dr. Delise Mimidaku. She's CEO of the Food and Drugs Authority. Madam, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Maru.
Now, looking at the story as published, the understanding is that no country anywhere has approved this vaccine. Ghana is the first. Now, the WHO has been considering approving the vaccine, we are told, but that has not happened. Why is Ghana or the Ghana Food and Drugs Authority the first to do this? What steps did we take, and why are we the first, and what does it even mean?
Why not the first? So Ghana is Food and Drugs Authority has a very stringent regulatory agency on the continent. Malaria is a burden in this country as in other African countries. If you want a review to be done, you want it to be done properly. And if any manufacturer wanted to approach somebody who would do a review properly, the best thing for them would be to go to the most stringent regulatory authority to ensure that it would be done properly. And that is why they came to us. And Ghana has done the review. What we've done is that we've looked at the data that has been given, and we have ensured that we have done a very good review. We've reviewed the clinical data, we've reviewed the non-clinical, we've reviewed the quality data, and we are happy with what we have seen. And for that reason, we have approved the vaccine. And that is what.
And forgive me, but we are getting educated here. Shouldn't the WHO be the ones to lead the charge for all other countries to follow, like we saw with the COVID-19, where they kept giving us updates?
No, with the COVID-19, if you remember, even in COVID-19, Ghana was actually reviewing concurrently with WHO. So we were not waiting for WHO. Actually, there were a lot of vaccines that we actually reviewed before WHO, and some of them we reviewed concurrently with WHO. And the results that we got were at par with WHO, were actually the same as what WHO got. So actually some that we actually did not even agree with WHO. And I will stop there.
Now,
I think some of the decisions we took were actually, in a way, more favorable.
Okay, so if we didn't produce these drugs, we were not part of the people who were producing the vaccine. The Indian Serum Institute did that. Why hasn't the Indian Drug Authority been asked to assess it? Because I'm sure malaria is a problem in India as it is here in Africa or in Ghana and other African countries. Why do they have to bring it all the way to us here to assess it? Or they gave it to all countries of the world to do an assessment, and we are the first to finish?
Okay, so this drug is for falciparum malaria. Yes, falciparum malaria is a burden to our region. The drug, Indian authorities gave it an export license. For every product, we look and see where the need, where it is developed for. This drug is developed for falciparum malaria, which is a burden for our part of the world. Okay, so that is why it was developed by Oxford University and manufactured by the Indian Drug Authority. So that is why. I don't know whether I've answered your question.
Not entirely. So the question is why.
So that you're talking about the difference in species. So that would not be a question for India.
Okay. So India doesn't care about this really.
It's not a matter of care. So you're asking about what the drug is developed for. So it's developed for falciparum malaria,
which concerns us.
Yes, for our part of the world.
Okay.
So that is what it would be. Yes.
Now, our part of the world would include other African countries.
Exactly, and I've already answered that question.
So these other African countries have also taken the drugs to their laboratories and they are also doing their own testing. Is that what's happening? Or they all chose Ghana to do that for them?
So the approach was made to Ghana, and I talked about the stringency of the regulator. So if you want anybody to do a good review, you take it to the most stringent person.
And continentally,
we are one of the most stringent on the continent.
Okay. Are we the only ones who were made to do this, or others have also been invited to do the test?
We were the ones who were selected because we are the ones who are maturity level 3. We are the ones who have a WHO pre-qualified lab. We are the ones who have a regional center of excellence in clinical trials drug registration, and pharmacovigilance, which is medicine safety. Putting the three together, you find out that we are the most stringent. And then second,
go ahead.
Yes. And then last of all, the local agent is also a Ghanaian company. And going forward, we are all looking at talking about why vaccines are not manufactured locally. Now, I think that it is a blessing that this vaccine is being done here, because in the future, this vaccine can be manufactured locally in this country if the local agent is from here and we have a pre-qualified lab in this country. That means that when there's a choice to manufacture this vaccine locally, it will start from Ghana. Then we will be able to manufacture it and supply it to the rest of the world.
Who chose us to do the assessment? Is it the Oxford University or the Serum Institute of India?
The vaccine belongs to the developer, who is the Oxford University.
So they chose Ghana that we should do this.
They are the license holders of the product.
How about trials? Did we have to, and I'm referring to FDA now, did you have to play a role in the trials that were done? Where were the trials done, if there was any such thing?
The trials have not, Ghana in this particular vaccine, we didn't take part in the trials. So you don't have to have taken part in a trial to actually register a product or actually have a product on the market. There are lots of drugs or vaccines that we use that we did not even take part in trials. So the trials were taking part in similar populations. They took place in similar populations like us, including Burkina Faso, Kenya, Mali, Tanzania, etc. So no, we didn't take part in the trials yet.
So the data was provided to us by the Serum Institute. We have done that. What about
the data was provided to us by the license holder of the product? Yes.
That's the Oxford University.
Yes.
Okay. What about the authenticity of the data you are working with? How authentic is it?
The data is authentic. Every trial takes place in accordance with GCP, and the data is authentic. Once the trial is done under good clinical practice, the data is authentic. We have had trials that have taken place in Ghana that we have monitored. Trials are done by and approved by ethics committees. It is very, very difficult unless you say that the countries in which these trials took place do not have ethics committees in them, and therefore trials are not monitored properly. In every country, including Ghana, you have ethics committees. You also have regulatory authorities there. They also monitor the trial. So the age where trials took place and they just happened, it doesn't happen anymore. It doesn't happen in Africa anymore, where somebody can actually just go and do a trial and just get away with it. The integrity of data is not, bad data is a thing of the past. We have the Africa Vaccines Regulatory Forum, and almost all the African countries are members of AVRF. I actually, sitting here, I'm the chairperson of the steering committee of AVRF. The days of clinical trials taking place and just happening is a thing of the past. If a trial takes place in Africa, it is properly monitored.
All right. After Ghana's FDA says it is okay, go ahead, does it automatically mean the world would hop onto this? Or there would be other steps that have to be followed before other countries? Would other countries have to do their own independent verifications, or the Ghana standard is enough for the globe?
Well, it depends. For example, Ghana is, we have MOUs with quite a few countries. We have MOUs with Uganda, with Rwanda. We have MOUs with the Gambia. We have MOUs with a few countries. They could actually say that, well, if Ghana has looked at it, then we don't need to look at it, and we will accept it. We are waiting to see what happens. So there are a few countries that we have MOUs with who can decide that they will not do the review and they will accept the results of our review. So those are the countries that we have MOUs.
What about Burkina Faso, where the trials were done? Would they immediately say that Ghana says it's okay, the trial was done here, let's go ahead and adopt it?
Okay. So within the ECOWAS sub-region, we have a collaborative procedure. Okay, it's where we come together and we can register a product. If we use that regulatory procedure, then if we came together within ECOWAS, we will assist the other countries because we have done it, and we will share our data with them. So we can actually we will post our assessment report, and they can take our assessment report, look at it. That is a collaborative procedure where they can take our assessment report. That exists. And they will look at it and use that assessment report. There are so many regulatory pathways that exist that regulators use to license products. It's called reliance. And they can use that process to license products. It happened in COVID. And that can be used for other regulators to do so because we are stringent regulatory authority.
So let me understand this. What you have done now is to say that to the Ghana government that, listen, I have cleared this drug or this vaccine. Please go ahead and use it on your population. That's what you have done.
What I've said is that, yes, we have looked at the data. Yes, we are satisfied with the benefit-risk ratio of this vaccine. Yes, the other steps that the Ghana Health Service, that has the API, etc., can go ahead and do the other due diligence that they would do within their program and continue with the other steps to make this vaccine available. Yes.
Did you have to clear with Ghana government before okaying this, or because you are autonomous?
I am the arm of Ghana government that has been authorized to do marketing authorization of products. So I don't know what you mean by clear with Ghana government.
Okay, but because this is an international issue that is generating international headlines and is going to be a global vaccine, I am just asking if something of that nature is going to be given clearance. Do you have to check with the national government to say, hey, I have okayed ABC, I'm going public with it, I just need you to know, or there's no need for you to do that, you just go to town?
No, I think the president has that assurance in the capabilities of this agency, and yes, that assurance and that of the president has that assurance and confidence in this agency and the work it does.
Okay. What about the Ghana Health Service? Did you have to?
I don't have to clear. No, I don't have to clear. My mandate is very clear. My mandate is to authorize the product for use. I don't overstep my mandate. So I wouldn't overstep my mandate past authorizing the product for use. That is where it ends. I don't veer into what Ghana Health Service does.
Very well.
I don't do rollout. I don't do anything else. So the product is available for Ghana Health Service when they decide when to do rollout, how to do rollout, how to put it into their program. It will be available for them to then going forward, and decide on how to use it. I don't do costing. I don't do anything like that.
That's fair enough.
So I've just made sure that it is available when they want to use it. That's all that I've done.
And it's certified. Thank you. Thank you so much for speaking to us, madam.